In this set of words, we're looking at adding the prefix miss or multi. So miss is going to change the meaning of the word, so it's wrongly, badly or unsuitably, so it's going to change it to its opposite. Multi, of course, adds the meaning of many to the base or root word. Now the other thing is, when you're adding miss, the prefix miss, to a word that starts with an S, you're going to end up with double S. So miss as a word does have double S, but as a prefix it only has one S. So just be aware of that, that may happen. Now there's quite a few other things in these words. So in misbehave, the E is a long sound, so we only have one consonant after it. Now the E on the end of have is making the previous vowel A make its long sound. In misfortune, we've got an R-controlled vowel in the OR, so that's making a long vowel sound, hence we only have one consonant after it. The E on the end is making the previous vowel U make its long sound. In misspell, if we look at the word spell, we have a short vowel sound, so we need two L's at the end. In misunderstand, we've got another R-controlled vowel, the ER in the middle. In misadventure, we've got the URE on the end, so take a look at that. The rest of the word's pretty easy. Multimedia, you've got a long vowel sound in the E, so hence only one consonant after it, the D. In multipurpose, you've got another R-controlled vowel in the UR, so you've got one consonant after it, because all R-controlled vowels make a long sound. And the only reason the E is on the end here is to show that it's singular. It's not making the previous vowel long, so it's just to show that it's singular, not plural. In multitasking, you've got the A making its broad sound R, but you know that there's no R in there. It's just the A representing that sound. Now, multicoloured, in British English we use OUR, and in American spelling you will see that they're just using OR. So currently we're going with British spelling, so the OUR is the accepted way of spelling colour, but you shouldn't be penalised in Australian education if you spell a word either the American or the British English way. Multicultural, just you've got the AL at the end, which is indicating it's probably an adjective. Okay, let's go through and have a look at what each of these words mean. So misbehave is when someone is not behaving in an acceptable way. Misfortune is bad luck. Misspell means to spell incorrectly. Misunderstand is a failure to interpret words or actions correctly. Misadventure means an unfortunate event or accident. Multimedia means the use of more than one medium of content form. So it could be visual, auditory, tactile, etc. Multi-purpose means having more than one objective or function. Multitasking is dealing with more than one task at a time. Multicoloured is having many colours. And multicultural means representing the customs of a variety of peoples or societies. Don't forget, at the top of the page you have to read the word, break it into its syllables, cover it, write it and check to make sure you've spelt it correctly. If you do have an error, please go back and make sure you correct it so you have the correct representation of each word. Now, join to make new words, you're simply putting the prefix with the base word to write the new word. Write the list word that means. So we talked about the meanings of all of these words yesterday, so if you're not sure, go back to the day one video. Fill in the gap with the list word. So these are sentences where we want you to apply these words to each of the sentences, and then research. When or why do we use the prefix miss? You can see we've given you some hints on the board here. And what does the prefix multi mean? Read the words, cover them, write them, and then check that you've spelt them all correctly. Then down in this section we're doing verb families, so we're looking at the base word, adding the S, adding the ing, adding the past tense. So I'll put two alerts here, because if you go misspell, misspells, misspelling, you don't say misspelled, it's misspelt. So we drop the last L and make it a T. Misunderstand, so you can go misunderstands, misunderstanding, but you don't say misunderstanded, you say misunderstood. So just be aware of those two there. The others are so bad, they're quite easy. Do remember here, when you're adding ing to a word that ends in E, you must drop the E. E goes away when ing comes to stay. Now down here, fill in the gaps with the list word or list word extension. So we've given you the clue for the missing word. You just have to make sure that it's being used in its correct form in the sentence. So it may mean adjusting the end of each of those words. Down the bottom here, we've got write a sentence to show the meaning of the list words. Now, we did deal with these on the day one video, so if you're not sure of the correct definition of each of these words, go back to that day one video. But we want you to show that you understand the meaning by writing your own sentence, not a definition. Now, we did discuss this on day one too. If the prefix miss is added to a base word that starts with an S, the word will have double S in it. So we've given you some examples of other words apart from misspell that also start with an S that you could add miss to. So try writing them in there with the prefix miss added to them. This is a review of nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs. So an adverb adds information to a verb. An adjective adds to a noun. So a noun could be the subject in the sentence, or it could be the object in the sentence. So you can see you've got little hints within the words. We're adding to the verb, verb. Ject, you've got subject, object, adjective. So let's have a look. We want you to link to the meaning. What is a noun, a verb, an adjective and an adverb? We've given you the definitions there. You just have to use different colours to link them. Then down here, match the nouns to the adjectives and the verbs to the adverbs. So use different colours to highlight those lines going from the adjective to the noun, the verb to the adverb. Now down here, some words can be used as both nouns and verbs. In fact, some words can be a noun, a verb, an adverb and an adjective. But here we're just doing them as nouns and verbs for you. So write sentences using the word as a noun and as a verb. So hint, nouns often need an article, the, at or an in front of them. So to form this into a noun, we could put a smell somewhere within the sentence and a love or the love. So do your sentences. You've got two lines, one for it as a noun, one for it as a verb. Other words need to be altered slightly to transition from nouns into verbs, and vice versa, verbs back into nouns. So write sentences for the noun and the verb given. So choice will be the noun, but choose will be the verb. So we want you to write a couple of sentences using those as the choice is a noun and choose as verb. Now many nouns can also be turned into adjectives. For example, rebel, which is a noun, turns into rebellious, the adjective, by adding the L-I-O-U-S to the end of it. So we want you to change these nouns into adjectives and write them on the line. Now we've done a lot of this in previous levels, so this should be coming to you quite easily now. We've not given you any hints there how to do it. We want to use your knowledge that you've gained from doing this many, many times in previous lists in other levels. So adjectives can be converted into adverbs by adding ly. We've done a lot of work on that. So we want you to simply convert these adjectives into adverbs by adding the ly.